Good morning, LaSalle. This is Jake Crawford, the president of the student body here today, and we are doing a question and answer with Brother James alongside Nick Schorn and Ryan Marr.
How are you?
All right, so brother, how are you doing?
Doing pretty well, holding up okay. Missing you guys. How about you?
Same old, same feeling. I think we all feel the same way from everyone in the school.
Well, particularly the seniors, I'm sure, but yeah, everybody feels it, but you more than most.
Yeah. All right, Nick or Ryan, do you guys want to start off with the first question?
Nick.
I'll go, I guess.
All right.
So, brother, what do you think has been the hardest part about this closure on you personally and dealing with it?
Probably the hardest part is also the best part. It's the team I have to work with to make the decisions and keep the school running. The hardest part is having to work with them in a context like this, not getting to have the daily interaction we have face to face. That would be the hardest part, to try to to bring everybody together to make good decisions in a virtual environment. The saddest part, of course, is not being with you, because schools by nature are supposed to have young people in them, and when they don't, it's a very sorry place.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're going on to the closure has been especially hard on the class of 2020, us seniors. Will it be possible for us to celebrate graduation or even possibly at prom at some point?
Okay, let me answer it this way. I can't say what's possible, because that's more or less out of my hands. It's up to Governor Wolf and some other people. I can say what's a priority, and I can say the priorities for LaSalle are making sure that you guys have a slate of commencement activities to conclude your career here, in the fashion that we can deliver it when we can deliver it. We have basically between now and the second week of August before you guys start to peel off to go to colleges and universities. So using some of that time creatively, depending on when activities are allowed, when gatherings of hundreds of people are allowed, we have to look for what we can offer you. But those senior commencement activities, which you're thinking of, as well as the production of a chorus line, are our priorities to get through this year on the social end.
Sounds good. All right, Ryan, you got the next one?
Yeah. With an abrupt end to the class of 2020's era at LaSalle, how can we have a lasting impact on the school?
Well, I think the classes that have a lasting impact on the school tend to be guys that either enjoyed from the very start or rediscovered they enjoy each other's company. The classes that are best for the school are the classes that are closest to each other, that get together, you say at Christmas or other times of the year in the summer down the shore, just to kind of rekindle the emotions. The impact you can have is probably by staying close to one another after you get out. You may think of yourselves as having lost time at LaSalle, and you certainly have, but you haven't lost the relationships. And the more you can maintain those, starting this summer when you go down the shore, Thanksgiving and Christmas of your first year of college when you come back, I think the more you can have an impact going forward. I mean, you're the class, I think, that in some ways appreciates most what the Brotherhood's all about, because you had to continue it in this fashion for this amount of time. Other people can kind of take it for granted and just kind of surf into graduation. You've had the whole thing sort of not yanked away, but yanked into a different place.
Mm-hmm. So I know you kind of half answered it right there, but do you have any suggestions on how we can continue our close-knit brotherhood, amongst our grades and everything else, continuing on through this process?
Yeah, well, this process, I mean, the important thing is to remember this process will have an end. It's not going to go on forever. We'll get out, they'll have a vaccine in time, and this will become a memory. But I think the most important thing for continue your closeness is to keep reaching out to one another. And when you get out, be that in May or in June, and can get together, start to do things socially again, like wing nights, like getting together, to do some kind of a pickup sporting event here on campus or elsewhere. Just really start to reconnect physically, because I'm sure you miss being together and the kind of easy relationships you have. Those aren't out by any means, but work hard to keep them going virtually now. I'm sure you do already with Snapchat, text, etc. But then finding ways to just keep it going. Don't let. I mean, it's normal in a situation like this that we can all get a little frustrated and depressed, and little things can trigger it. For example, I was walking around campus the other day, and I just looked in the parking lot on the ground between the aisles, and saw a pencil there. And said, some kid just dropped that on his way out of class someday. And it made me feel sad for a few minutes, because I was thinking, gee, that's what it should be about. There should be lots of dropped pencils around here. It should all be life in the school and not just little scraps. So we can get to feel down, and you're the best people to pick each other up when this happens.
Definitely.
All right. So with many students having left materials in their lockers since March, will students, and especially seniors, be given the chance to walk through the halls one last time before moving on to college?
Yeah, I think so. I can't say where that is. Yeah, we are aware there's stuff in lockers. We can't let you in right now because it kind of both it would be kind of against the rules that have come down from the state, and also we've had the building completely sanitized, and we're trying to keep it that way. But yeah, you certainly will be back in the school. Like when we have graduation, if we're able to do it together as a group before you go off to college, we would definitely have it in the school on the property, and we'd look at ways that you could enjoy the school for several last times. So the seniors coming back in for some things that are just for seniors, as soon as we can do so safely and legally, we want to do that. I don't think that anybody really is worried about make sure I get my Spanish 4 workbook and take that home. But I think it's more just to rekindle the kind of emotional connection with the building, with each other, with what LaSalle means to you.
All right. What have been your impressions on the school's move to online classes?
I mean, my impressions are secondhand, since I don't go and lurk in the background in any of them. I know what the teachers are doing, and I hear them talk about it in various sorts of forums. And I also get a lot of feedback from parents who I run into virtually for one reason or another. And what I hear from them is nothing but compliments for how the LaSalle teachers have handled this, how they've made the jump, and they've made it real. I mean, I think we all know that a lot of schools are still basically doing work packets, photocopies or things posted online, are doing the kind of things we used to do when we would have the cyber days for snow, whereas we're having classes according to a schedule. And I think that has been something that a lot of people have felt very good about LaSalle for. How do you feel about it? How do you think it's worked?
I think it's working good. It's nice to have the schedule, like you said. It's not like you're doing it on your own time. We're all together. Which is nice, and it's just good to hear everybody. And it's really just making the best out of the situation, I think, as we can.
Right. I mean, I think that sometimes it's nice like this. I mean, if I don't know what your teachers do, I'd like to have the camera on just to see everybody. I realize that means you got to presume certain things, like that people have gotten dressed for the 7:55 class, they have a shirt on, things like that. But with certain parameters, it's nice to see each other.
Definitely.
Yep.
So, brother, how does the Lasallian Mission stay the same in an online environment?
With a lot of work. Because the essence of a Lasallian school is relationships and community. We accomplish our work in the context of people who regard each other as brothers and sisters, helping each other along. So we have to translate that, the touches that we have, the constant interaction in the hallway, wherever you hang out, be it the guidance offices or campus ministry, all the library, those things are all gone. And we have to work harder to do it, in the 70 minutes you have for class, in the time you have with your counselor, your college placement counselor, things like that, just to make the connection real. Media is almost the same, but it's not the same. It's not the same as being able to read somebody's emotional reaction, to hear their laugh in real time. So those are all great things. We can approximate them, but we can't get there. But I think the knowledge that we will get there is what we all rely on.
Right.
On that topic, would you envision more online classes offered by the school for future students at LaSalle?
Yeah, again, I would not envision probably our standard courses being offered online. Like if you're taking AP English in junior year, I imagine those will still be real courses delivered face to face. I imagine there being online options in the future. I think that things are going to change as a result of this experience, where let's say that there was a group of 6 kids in their senior year who wanted to take Arabic. Well, we don't have an Arabic teacher and 6 is not a class. Maybe we could work together if there were 3 girls at the Mountain, 2 girls at Gwinnett, and a girl at Village O, and we all knew somebody who could speak Arabic and knew enough to how to teach it. We could do something like that in this forum. I mean, I think it opens up a lot of possibilities for things that we say we couldn't do, and LaSalle can do more than most schools can in terms of offering face-to-face courses. But innovative courses like that, or maybe you wanted to learn American Sign, and there was a group of kids in area, Catholic academies that had the same interest in learning how to communicate with deaf people. That could be done, I think, pretty well in this context. Yeah. So there's more possibilities, not less at the other end, but I think we'll still maintain our context because, LaSalle is a context not only to learn information, but it's a context to grow up, to get wiser. And that doesn't happen as easily online.
I totally agree.
So we can't lose that just by the virtue of saying, we can do this more cheaply or more efficiently, or people can take classes, after practice or something. I think you will be doing more of this in college. So we have now we've kind of introduced you to it more than we ever expected we would. And we have to keep that up even as the years go by, because probably most master's degrees will be online in the future. But for the moment, I mean, those are for adult working professionals. When you're in the context of becoming a man, growing up, that face-to-face interaction can't be supplemented or exchanged.
Right.
Do you have any final thoughts or insights to the student body now that we know school will not be coming back this year?
Well, I mean, first, I'm sorry and sad about that. I mean, I understand the reason for the decision at the governmental level, but it does hurt all of us, I'm sure, not to see each other. It's ironic that we have this experience, especially before Cyber Days. We always look forward to snow days, days off, changes of routine, extra holidays. And now it just seems like, okay, enough. We want to be back in school. We want to stay in school. We'd go on Saturday if we had to, all those things.
Exactly.
And we miss all of the things that surround school, in terms of having a robust extracurricular athletic program, just hanging out in the cafeteria in the morning for half an hour before you go upstairs for class, all those things that we're used to that we don't have anymore. And I guess my last thing would probably be, if you think about it, I was thinking about it this way the other day. You've probably been told 1,000 times by your parents or teachers, people are making a sacrifice for you to be at LaSalle. Your parents are sacrificing financially their time. The teachers are going the extra mile. All this language of sacrifice is being made for you. And now the tables are turned. I mean, you're making a sacrifice. You could probably weather the storm of this infection pretty well, almost all of you, if you caught it. But it's the fact that you could pass it on to people like your grandparents who would be less able to deal with this. That means that we have to stay home and do it this way. So instead of being sacrificed for, you're now in a position where you're making the sacrifice. And people probably aren't telling you that they appreciate that, either in your own networks or governmentally, whatever. But I think we are appreciating that this is the best year of your life, and you are making a big sacrifice of the best part of this senior year, so that we can all, as a wider community far beyond LaSalle, stay well and in some cases stay alive. So, I mean, I think as time goes on, more and more people will come to appreciate what you're doing, and it's something that young American men haven't had to do, for probably 70 years on this scale.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, brother. So that's all of our questions for today. I don't know if you have any questions for us or how we want to end this session, but
Sure, I'll ask you, well, how are all your families doing? We didn't get to talk about that in the beginning. Is everybody well?
family's doing well. My dad went back to work today,
Oh, good.
so he's going back, and then everyone else is home, so we're all doing well in the Crawfords.
Okay, good. How about the Mars?
I'm doing good. My entire family's home. Pretty I'm much on lockdown. Pretty strict on the quarantine, and we had a Zoom meeting yesterday
For Easter?
with my more distant family. So we're all getting by.
And do you see Buzz and Alice, or do they stay home
Yep.
Good.
No, they stay home, but we saw them yesterday
on the Zoom?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
How about the Schorns? Everybody back to normal?
Yep, everything's back to normal. My dad actually tested negative for the virus, so I was pretty thankful of that.
Okay,
But,
he was just sick.
He was just sick. He just had the flu. So,
Okay.
I mean, I'm pretty thankful for that, you know?
Wow.
Yeah, that's great news, actually. Right, it makes a relief to everybody.
Yeah.
Well, how do you think the guys out there are doing? Do they feel pretty much the same way you feel?
Pardon?
Yeah.
Your classmates.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're all very, like, all the guys I talk to are like, we just want to get back to school. Like,
Mhm.
it's like a lot of angst and like anger at the fact we just can't go back, you know?
Yeah, I mean, anger at things that are outside your control is
Yeah,
sometimes
exactly.
one of the most difficult, because it's not like you can blame one person who screwed it up for everybody.
Mhm.
Yeah, the anger is against fate in some
Right.
ways,
Yeah.
and that's the hardest thing to be angry at,
Mhm.
because you can't control it.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, it's, as Mr. Bilecki always says, control the things you can't control, and that's what you have to work on. You have to work on being a better son, better brother, better teammate, classmate.
Hmm.
Yep.
And I always find the wisdom in times like this is like when you think, I can't do it anymore, I can't take another day of this. Okay, just don't take a day. Do it for an hour. I can do this for an hour.
Yep.
And then when that hour is over, I can do it for another one. And before you know it, that day that you didn't think you could do it is over.
Right.
So just keep cutting it down into smaller pieces, and you'll stay on top of it.
Hmm.
Exactly.
Get through it together.
And I think, there will be a big change that I don't think we'll see a group of people who have the impression of how important friendships, relationships, spending time together are, as you will, because you've lost it for 2 months.
Hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it was very good talking to you guys.
Great talking
You too,
with you,
brother.
Great talking to you.
And I look forward to the day when we'll see you. Can't pinpoint exactly when that's going to be, but we know it will be at any rate. Okay.
Cannot wait.
Yeah,
Sounds
know.
good,
me
brother.
too. All right. Okay, guys. Take care.
Take care of
too,
yourself,
brother.
brother. Bye now.
Bye now.